Hi, Zach Cummings here with Keller Williams Realty. I'm sitting next to Eric Hopkins, WashingtonFirst Mortgage, one of my preferred lenders, and wanted to talk a little bit with Eric today about first-time home buyers and try to give you some options if you're preparing to enter the market. Eric, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, hi, I'm Eric Hopkins, WashingtonFirst Mortgage, as Zach had mentioned. Been in the industry 15 years. I do every type of loan product available. I do enjoy working with first-time home buyers. I think the joy of owning a home and helping them build start to build wealth through home ownership is really important.
Absolutely. Perfect. Well, let's just jump right in because obviously we know what first-time home buyer means in a general sense, but from a lender's perspective, what is a first-time home buyer?
Well, depending on the programs, but generally the first-time home buyer is someone who has not owned a home in the last 3 years.
Great.
Although you could be eligible for programs like a first-time home buyer by just selling your home immediately and purchasing another one.
Great, awesome. So obviously reach out to Eric or another lender in your area to find out if you qualify as a first-time home buyer. So what are our options? Let's Virginia specific here. What are our options for first-time home buyers, just generally, total state of Virginia?
So in Virginia and Maryland and DC, a lot of states have very similar programs. You could go from a zero down with closing cost assistance for a first-time home buyer to other programs that reduce interest rates as well as reduce down payment. There's some big advantages across the board when you are a first-time home buyer.
Sure. So what, you mentioned down payment. Obviously in Loudoun County and in Fairfax and in most of Northern Virginia, the home prices are a little bit higher than, say, in Ohio or Pennsylvania. Are there options available for buyers to assist with that down payment?
So Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac and FHA, USDA, a lot of different agencies have increased their loan limits for our specific, called a high cost area. And so they'll run up to $636 or $636,000 for a loan limit in the counties surrounding the Washington metropolitan area, which is fantastic for our area. Although most of my home buyers that I see, they're in the 400, 450 range for first-time home buyers. That's kind of a comfort level for them in buying the space that they're really desiring.
Right. Any programs offered by the state to give like a credit or like a grant or a loan for like assistance with that actual down payment?
Yeah, so a couple agencies. One is VHDA, Virginia Housing Authority, has a grant program, and it changes from year to year. Currently, if you it's 2% for a conventional loan buyer and 2.5% for a FHA home buyer. FHA being the type of financing, conventional being the type of financing.
Sure.
Currently, they have an additional amount of money of $1,500 that goes on top of it. Maryland has some similar programs with down payment assistance as well as employer matches.
Oh, interesting.
There are some of the grants that have expired that will renew in the first of the year from Atlanta Home Bank, which is a grant for low to median income people, up to $7,500 for that grant. Wow. So there's just various programs that you should investigate and do research about.
Perfect.
So you have the knowledge going into if you qualify for them. Just because you're a first-time home buyer doesn't mean you're qualified for the program. Sure. There are some income limitations, some debt limitations that you need to achieve. So do your research. Get in touch with a professional, mortgage professional, and they'll guide you through that.
Absolutely. So last question here kind of rolls right into what you were just saying. What's the one thing that you would urge a first-time home buyer to do even before they go out and start looking at homes?
So getting pre-approved for a mortgage is very important these days. You're going into a very competitive market here in Northern Virginia, and you really need to know where your qualifications lie, and where your goals meet those qualifications.
Right.
Sometimes your goals are this much for a mortgage payment and this much for a down payment, and we talk about those things before we just go say, oh, you're good to $1 million. Well, not everyone wants $1 million payment.
Right.
So we want to talk about those goals and get through that and get pre-approved. A lot of people think, well, I can't buy because I have a student loan, or I can't buy because I still have this car payment,
Right.
or that may not be the case, depending
Okay.
on the income level and the program thresholds.
Perfect. Well, thanks, Eric. I appreciate it. And if you have any questions, you can always reach out to me, and I'll get you in touch with Eric, and he can help you get on the path to home ownership.